Hi, my name is Daniel Solomon, and I'm here to try to make a short video review of my main portfolio. I'm doing this because if you just look at the still photos, you may not get an idea of what some of them are, and I like to go through and explain them so that you can get an idea of what I was thinking and why I did what I did. Because it's important to know that. So I'm gonna start with this first one. This is just done in Figma. It was a sample to redo their landing page, and I did it, and they seemed to love it. They did not use it, but it's there for you to see. This is what I came up with based off what they asked me to do. I actually do like it myself. I don't like everything I do because it's not always just for me. But I enjoyed making this, and I thought it was pretty decent work. But let's scroll down here. This is a landing page for the car club. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Buy, sell, trade, finance in your stores in Tampa. I guess they wanted to have more than one store, and so don't do that. So the love the car guarantee, 48-hour test drives, 30-day return. So this is just a landing page. You can search cars through this dealership here. And so this is a landing page for a collectible website. I mean, not collectible. They sell collectibles. And so this is your 15% off. If you shop now, you get your code right here. And so I use a generic hero. I didn't want to use any specific one. This is a landing page slash home page because it's what they asked for. I tried to have them do something a little more simple to try to grab the attention, but no, they wanted this homepage mixed with the shop now button here, so that's no problem. I did it. It came out pretty good. These right here are my own corals for my fish tank because I did collect coral. I mean, I did have a saltwater tank, so if you look at it, they're kind of less color. They're not as saturated as the rest of it, but that's on purpose. I didn't want them to stand out, but I did put a little starfish that's actually not supposed to be there. But all this stuff was um, from online, and then this is just from my own tank. And it was pretty cool. This is also a landing page, which is one of the strangest jobs I ever done because it's for a designer that needed their page designed. So, but I did it. And the reason why I find that funny is, I guess, because it's like going to the mechanic when you're a mechanic to have them change your tire. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this is a sample I made of a baseball card for a card. This is actually the name of the card place. So I did this just as a friendly sample. They loved it so much. Like they were super excited about the way it looked. Yeah, so I did this. I took the red and blue background and I flipped it with the writing and everything. You can see this way. It's like a double threat. He's a double threat. He can steal 50. He's got 50 homers, and he's a really good pitcher. If you don't know who he is, then you must have never seen baseball in your life. I mean, he's a pretty. I would say he's the best player in baseball right now. I mean, I think so. So, I did this for a local Best Buy a long time ago. I think the date's on here from 2011, so it's like 13 years ago. But I mean, it looks 13 years old. So, but still, this is what they wanted, and I was happy to work for that company. And they were excited about the finished product, and it was pretty big for me to do work for Best Buy, as they're a big company. And yeah, so I use their colors and try to balance it out and make it look holiday, holiday-ish, and I think it came out pretty good. They loved it. This was done for Fantastic Sam's, their franchise haircutting place. I did this they were trying to attract younger customers, and all they said was they wanted to do something like casino look to it, and they just left me to do whatever. They had a couple, they gave me a little bit of info, like the coupons here, and they had some photos that they had to have in there, which is just this lady. I don't know. I can't remember. Probably the lady in the back here too. But I hand drew this entire thing except for this phone. I did get that online. But everything you see that's 3D or place was all hand drawn. It was a lot of hours. Yeah, so they liked it very, very much. These are 2 samples I did for this company recently, just out of the, sometimes I do that if I'm going to work at a company. I will, if I have the time, make up something for their company if I can do it. And so I did it for them. It's pretty cool. I came up with the writing, or the copy, always there for the assist with the basketball with their logo on it. And they actually do assist other investors. Let them use. I think it's like they let them use their tools and their software and all that kind of stuff. Something like that. And then I made another one, turning cents into dollars, to show that they're good investors. And I made their logo 3D to give it a little different look. They're really nice. And then this. Here, let's look at the green one. I drew this on an Illustrator and Photoshop. Was colored in Photoshop. I did this, and then they ended up choosing a real person as their mascot, I guess you want to call it. I know a lot of people were upset because a lot of people that I talked to were really excited about this new thing. And I did come up with this too, defending your sleep, one snore at a time, because as you know, you snore, you're like, I'm not going to make the sound, but you snore once, every time you snore, it stops you from snoring each snore. So, yes, it was very loved. It did take a lot of hours to do this because it had to be drawn. The outline had to be drawn, and then it had to be colored, then it had to be shaded, which means you go over it with you put in Photoshop, and then you use your pen on your screen. You sit down and color in all the shading, which means a lot of color sampling. If you've ever, I don't know if you've ever done it, but anyone who's ever done anything like this will know that it's not quickly done. As you can see, the shading down the leg, I mean, that takes precision and time. Just like here, under here, and on her hand. I mean, look at that, right on her hands. It's just like a cartoon would look. And then these are just like I said, I had to draw these in Illustrator. What I'm basically trying to say is you can see the precision, and it may not be your favorite piece of art, but I can tell you this right now, the precision in this drawing is very high. And that's how I do my work. So you can see it in all these little pieces. So yeah, it's a pretty cool. This was for the cancer. There was the cancer thing coming up. Everything was getting all done on time, and then, as I said, the art director, I remember, was just like, "Nah, we're gonna use, I don't know, some athlete." And I was like, "What?" After I spent I was working on that for a while. But let's not talk about that. So this right here is after I did this right here was a billboard, one of a few, like 4 maybe designs that were up, and this is just like my favorite one that I kept. I have the other files, but I don't want to put them in here. This thing is just, excuse my language, this is pretty badass. It was really well received by the company, and anybody that saw it that knew I did it was like, wow. These are big blue eyes. I don't know, it just came out really good, and so I'm very proud of it. And this logo is for a website that I put together. It just has Spider-Man. This is the Goblin. This is Captain America, the Hulk. I think this is Wolverine. I can't remember who this yellow one is. It might be Bumblebee, that's who it's supposed to be, and then you have a lightsaber in the back. This is another, I can't zoom in, but I'm telling you, this logo right here is very high precision. There's a lot of strokes and lines in there that are lined up. It's very high precision. It looks simple, but it's really a lot of work compared to, say, even this one right below it. This one below it looks or even all of them. This one is like much more complicated than say this one, and this one was done for a coral shop. It's pretty nice. Gives off all those colors like the corals do. These Florida Tropical Getaways, they used to sell vacations in Florida, as far as I know. That's what they wanted, so that's their design. I did this Rising Star Music free. My kids, when they were younger, went to this school, learned how to play guitar and piano, and so they had their logo was. I just did this for free for them. I was like, hey, I didn't mind. It didn't take very long. So I did the rise of the music with the stars. I thought it was like, it kind of, it's like anything else you do. You take some name and then you try to do some artwork that like reflects the name a little bit. Just like these coral places, like the Tropical Getaway, the Retank Friendly Frags, like this too. This has frags on it, which those are little tiny pieces of coral that you cut off and then you grow your own. You're not going to take this big piece of coral, you're going to cut off a little piece and then hopefully grow your own. This way they're not wasted and dying. It's a smart way to do things. If you do them right, they don't take that long to grow. And so, because I've done it. This right here is somebody I met when I used to run a lot. And they just wanted to sport. They were a professional massage therapist or a sports massage, and so they just wanted something that was like red, white, and blue. And this was one of the many choices. Personally, I would have probably went with the blue ring with the red. I'm not a big fan of using too much red. It's very I guess agitating for a lot of people. It can be. I wish it was smaller on the screen. This right here is somebody I knew. This was a while ago when Bitcoin was so cheap, and they were trading their shoes. Instead of just selling them, they would take Bitcoin for their shoes. And at that time, yes, he was like, you should get some Bitcoin, and I didn't, and I wish I did because they were like $1 each. And I swear I just looked today, they were like $85,000 each, so that would have been great. I might not even be making this video had I bought a couple $1,000s of them. So, I don't know if that's true, because I really love doing this. It's easy to say you wouldn't, but then what are you going to do? Be bored? So, Suncoast Ad Designs, this is also similar to the other company, and they just had a bird up on the top. You can see the gradient around the bird. I wanted to do something nice, and so this Travel Life, I did this because when you think of somebody traveling, you always have in the old days a stick with the bag. So talking to the business owner, it kind of just came up with this idea I did, and she loved it. So this right here is for somebody who writes books. They have more than one. I just happen to do this for them, for one of them. So you get the female and the male, they're meeting in the middle. It's a transgender odyssey. I'd never read it. I just didn't. So you have this logo. This was just a realtor who I did work for often. Just one of his ads of many. I used to tell him, because he keeps this from 2013. I'm like, yeah, the realtors, they always keep their old accomplishments. It's like, I swear they all do. No offense to them, it's just they all seem to do it. This is the logo that I did many different versions of, and I put them on many different colors. This is just a sample of what I normally do. I'll take the logo in blue, green, red and orange. Some people might not like the blue version, they might like this one down here, and it's the same thing. You don't want to throw away a good design because somebody just didn't like the colors. And the reason why there's so many colors is because they kind of were like, well, I don't know what color I want. Can I see it in a few colors? So that's what I did. It's the same with these on black and white. It's the same colors. Different, this one's just on black, this one on white, but it's the same. And then you got the same, this has a little bit different design. This is a design that was for, the company was called Lips. and I don't know what happened after I made this, but it was for social media. It was my copy. Everything was my design. They didn't really specify anything. They just gave me kind of some information and said make it look like other makeup things, makeup companies do. And so I did a little research and I was like, all right. And I came up with this. There's just a logo, another logo. These are some social media for luxury estates. Now these were just samples. I can't say if they were used or not. I don't know. I just had to do this part of it. I mean, they all look really good. I mean, if you used them all, and I would. I think they're fantastic looking. All the colors are great. Look, you got the nice grays, and then everything on them looks great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I think they all look great. So this is some stuff that I did for samples for the Department of Justice. I don't know if it was for, you know what, it was done so long ago, I can't remember why they had me do them, but they didn't give me much instruction. They kind of just said, stay with these colors, show a map, this is what it's for, you know, you come up with the rest of it. So I came up with the photos in the background, you know, everything you see here was my design, just the colors and the info they basically gave me. It was even my idea to watermark that. And then this was for a company recently in the last month I just took their logo and I just redid it. Mine's way better. Of course they say that, but they are pretty good. The one at the very bottom is my favorite of all of them, which is the same as this one, but with that little V at the bottom. It's really, I mean, I want to I want to make a company and just use those letters for my company. I love it so much. I took this stroke and I put it at a certain angle. You know, if you see it's like on the right side, then it's at the top up here. What that does is, I mean, at least in my opinion, it kind of makes it look like it's moving, like it's electrified, just by the placement of the stroke and the colors of it, the gradients. I custom made them. I just didn't use white. As you can see, it changes as it goes around in certain areas because it has to give it that effect that it's moving all the time. And that's why I love it so much. I mean, I look at it and it just looks like it's going places. So that about wraps it up for this this stuff right now. I'm just gonna get out of this, and I just wanted to thank you for being here and watching this. If you did, and hopefully you like some of the stuff you saw, and I really just wanted to give you an idea of how I think, you know, talk about some of the stuff I made. I probably could have talked a little bit more of each of the things, but I just kind of didn't want to take forever on them, even though I probably did to some. But anyway, so now you can see all my stuff here. I told you a little bit about each one. And hopefully you like what you saw, like I said, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it.